I've been selling on Amazon FBA since 2017. That's over 7 years. I've seen ups, I've seen downs, I've seen just about everything. One part of my FBA story that I think I've talked about in the past, but not recently, was I ran into an issue with the threat of intellectual property violations for a product that I had been selling and was the #1 seller on Amazon at the time for 5 years. It was actually the first product I ever launched. I expanded it out into a full brand. And then the biggest retailer that sells the same product, which, by the way, I mean, if you guys are familiar with how this works, like, people just grab the same product and they slap a different brand on it, and then they go sell it on Amazon. They sell it here, they sell it there. That's pretty much how the world has worked for a while now, okay? They decide to jump on Amazon, and the next thing you know, they're threatening me with litigation, whether or not I did something wrong. They didn't even know. They weren't really concerned. They tried to intimidate me, the #1 bestseller with a whole brand of multiple SKUs, off the platform to clear the way for them to dominate Amazon, as they were already dominating off of Amazon. Anyways, long story short, this could have been avoided. Now, ultimately, I did win. I was fine. Like, I'm still to this day selling that product. Didn't have to go to court. Didn't have to hire a law firm either. I did have to hire a lawyer. Anyways, this could have been avoided with the help of a tool I want to show you, brand new from SellerSprite, in this video. Okay, it's basically aimed at expediting the intellectual property research associated with selling Amazon FBA private label products. So let's get to it. So to get started, we're going to jump into SellerSprite's product research module only briefly. I've talked about this in the past, but it's a great place to start if you're researching products to potentially sell as your own, like we said, private label, fulfilled by Amazon. The filters I used for this search, I set the categories. I basically wanted to exclude certain categories more than I wanted to include other ones. But I went to the category selection. I did baby products, health and household, home and kitchen, industrial and scientific, and patio, lawn, and garden. Okay, that's what I did for this search. I set the monthly revenue between $15,000 and $30,000, which, by the way, is not that much, right? It's really not that much. But let's say your profit margin is 20%, which is healthy. If you sell 15K on Amazon, 20%, what is that? $3,000? That's not bad, right? So I'm just saying, and I put the upper limit at 30,000, which is like, this is where it gets a little bit shaky, because you might filter out your competition that's doing better, and it skews the results a little bit. Ideally, I want a niche though that's not like selling so much that the whales, you know, the big guys, are trying to enter that niche. I found success selling basically like what you see there, like 15K, you know, 20K, with upwards of like 40K a month in niches like that. And I felt like I didn't have to compete with too many of the big guys. And, you know, you just stash $2,000, $3,000 per SKU a month, and it adds up. Okay. Anyways, I wanted to show you the IP module. So I'm just showing you how I generated a list of products to use for ideas. Now, I actually ended up right here with this weekly kind of pill holder. I thought maybe that's like small, lightweight. It's not fragile. It's not going to break. Simple enough, right? In terms of products that we could consider selling. And it looks like it sells revenue-wise $29,700 a month. So just under our limit. So I bet you we could make some decent money there as well. So I said, all right, before we go any further in terms of selling this, we need to make sure that it is not patented. Yes, patented. Now, the thing is, sometimes people own patents and they use them to threaten their competition. And ultimately, that's why the courts exist, right? So a judge can litigate and see, well, did you actually infringe or not, right? There's a little bit of a science to it, but I'm generalizing. But anyways, so if we wanted to sell these theoretically, what we could do is jump on over to the brand new design patent module in SellerSprite to essentially search. And this is a tough search to perform. I believe it leverages AI to do it, to look for similarities in a product image that we provide against the patent database of various countries. There's an origin of patent field right here. You can actually see it's got different options, of course. I mean, look at this. It's actually got a massive, I didn't realize the list was that big. So it's got a bunch of different countries' patent databases that it can search against. I'm going to use the United States, but you can also do multi-country. That's worth noting as well. So in this case, I've got an image of the pill holder, and it's not required, but under product keywords, I would probably just put like pill holder. You can go as far as to use the LOC classification number. I don't know what LOC stands for. I'm just being honest. But if you don't know it, you can click the LOC assistant button right here, and it essentially guides you through finding what it might, what the qualification might be. Again, it's not required. So rather than do it, there's a search button behind my head. If I duck out of the way, I'm just going to click search. And also you can search by applicant names as well, by the way, that field right there. I'm just going to skip that as well. Not really required. And let's see the results. So believe it or not, look, there are 3 patents and they actually gauge the similarity. So it says 65% similar, 65% similar, and 61% similar. Weekly pill organizer, medicine holder and organizer, and pill holder. So if we're concerned about the similarity between the product we want to sell and the patent, we can click to get more information. So you can see when you click for more info, you can see the official images from the patent database, the part that actually is supposed to represent the part that is patented and show it in action. Okay, you can actually download the patent PDF right there. You can see things like the patent number, the applicant, etc. So this is great for expediting this process and making sure you don't miss anything, because it's hard to search for images. Let's be real. So SellerSprite really did us a favor here in adding this functionality. I thought maybe we could go back and kind of reset and maybe play around with the design patent function a little bit more. So you've seen me look into garlic presses in the past. Why don't we do a garlic press search? By the way, I'm not going to enter keywords where it says product keywords, just to show you the difference it can make when you provide the keywords versus not. I've searched garlic press in the past, and when you don't include the keywords, you end up getting similarities with things like a skin stapler. Okay, I have never performed surgery on anybody, but skin stapler, I'm assuming that is for surgery, right? I don't know. I don't need to know more, actually. You know what? We're just going to leave that. A tea strainer apparently has similarities to this garlic press. And then right here in the number 4 spot, similarity 78%, you have the first garlic press. Then you get a cheese slicer, a ceiling fan, a speculum, which I learned about what that was from a t-shirt back in the day, probably at the beginning of this year. I was like, why are these trending and what is that? And then I learned, and yeah, let's just put that behind us as well. Handle for magnifier somehow has a patent. Set of eyeglass components has a patent. Anyways, let's click the garlic press just to show you guys. So you can see the images here. The part that's patented is supposed to be illustrated in these images in the design patent. Again, you can see the applicant, the patent number, the application date, the publication date, etc. You get all this info in one view. You can even download the PDF, which I had preloaded right here. So if you are a glutton for punishment, you can go ahead and scroll through, read through the entire official patent PDF document right here. So I wanted to make you guys aware of that. Let's go back to the design patent. I had a few more queued up that we could just experiment with. So number 3, how about I actually show you guys a product that I have sold on Amazon very successfully, massive profit margins, 35% plus. Yes, you heard that correctly. That doesn't really exist much anymore on Amazon because they are so greedy with their fees. But I would say solo cup. These were like these mini solo cups. I don't know if we say mini, if that's going to make a difference. Let's try. So it does not look like it found any matches, which is okay. Not everything has patent records that we have to worry about. We'll reset this a few more times. I had 2 more products I wanted to try. I also used to sell these glass espresso mugs, and the key word in there, which is why I said used to sell and not still sell, is the word glass. These things I've never had. I sold like about 15 FBA SKUs in total, if not more actually, because when I say SKU, it's like you could do a color variation and then that counts as a separate SKU. I mean, I had at the height of my powers, man, I was selling FBA like crazy. The most successful product I ever had at launch were these glass, like double insulated espresso mugs. They sold right away. You know what I mean? Like the product research that you can do in SellerSprite is insane in terms of like, not everything's guaranteed. You don't know till you know, but it took off right away. But they were glass. And even though they were tightly packaged and insulated with cardboard and bubble wrap, they broke all the time. All right. And that's why I do not sell them anymore. I literally could not continue to sell them if I wanted to, because Amazon said, nope, your order defect rate is too high. You're done. And, you know, that was it. Isolated to just that SKU, just that one product. But if you're going to sell, lesson learned, if you're going to sell glass, you got to be really, 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 really careful. Not just really, really, really careful, which I would say I was. Anyways, this product, over 26,000 patents matching this image search. So if I do, you know, the keywords and I say glass mug, let's see if we can trim that down, the results down a little bit. maybe get them a little bit more accurate to exactly what we were selling. Yep, and that trims it down to 11 patents. So you guys could see the more specific you are, the better results you're gonna get. All right, I had one more product queued up for us to test. How about like wireless headphones? I mean, these are pretty robust products, like pretty complicated, not entry level, not beginner level. We know headphones sell a ton as well. So if you want to enter that niche, you got to have deep pockets to keep your products in stock. All right. And there are a ton of patents. It looks like it found 29,000 patents similar to the image of wireless headphones. The first one, though, just says pair of headphones, similarity 85%. Maybe we check those out real quick. And again, you can check out multiple. Like a lot of these actually look pretty similar. Interesting. So you can, in order to get the actual like information that you'd probably need to figure out like what part of this is patented, you'd have to go to the PDF, by the way, if you didn't realize that. So just wanted to make that clear. In the case of selling these headphones, yeah, you definitely have some digging to do. This is probably why lawyers and law firms clean up, because who really wants to sit here and comb through this all day? So they outsource that to a law firm and pay, you know, $1,000 an hour. Anyways, guys, hope you found this video helpful. I definitely thought it was useful. It is practical. I know from firsthand experience, like these stories, I'm not just making them up. You know, 7.5 years selling FBA, hit some big numbers, hit some bumps along the way to those big numbers in terms of sales. So SellerSprite's new design patent module is definitely there to help you out, especially if you are in that research phase. Like that's where you really need to get everything right. Otherwise you risk wasting not only your time, but your money. Because with FBA, you know, you're prepaying for these products. Anyways, guys, thank you. Check out SellerSprite, top link in the description. I've also got a discount code there for you. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon with another new video.